Have you ever noticed how, as we get older, simple things like climbing the stairs or walking across the grocery store feel a little more tiring than they used to? Maybe you've caught yourself thinking, I used to be able to walk for hours without even feeling it. What happened? You're not alone. The truth is, staying active becomes more important than ever as we age, but many people don't realize just how much of a difference it can make. Today, we're talking about one of the simplest yet most powerful things you can do for your health: walking. Not only is it free, but it's also one of the best ways to keep your body strong, your mind sharp, and your energy levels high. But here's the big question. How many steps should you actually be taking each day to stay young and strong? Because here's the thing. Some people are walking too little, while others might actually be overdoing it. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever heard that 10,000 steps a day is the magic number for good health? Well, I've got some news for you. That number, it was never actually based on science. It started as part of a marketing campaign for a pedometer in Japan back in the 1960s. The truth is, the number of steps you need isn't the same for everyone, especially as we age. In fact, new research suggests that older adults can see incredible benefits with far fewer steps than you might think. So, let's get into it. How many steps should you actually be taking every day? And just as important, what's the best way to make sure you're walking in a way that strengthens your body rather than wearing it down? First, let's talk about the minimum number of steps you need to start seeing real health benefits. Studies have shown that older adults who take at least 4,000 to 6,000 steps a day significantly reduce their risk of heart disease, stroke, and even early death. That's only about 30 to 45 minutes of walking spread throughout the day. Think about that. Just moving a little more each day can literally add years to your life. And the best part? You don't have to do it all at once. Taking short walks throughout the day is just as effective as doing it in one big session. Now, if you want to take it a step further, no pun intended, there's a sweet spot where you'll get even more benefits. That range is 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day. People who consistently hit this range have a much lower risk of developing conditions like high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and even dementia. And for many older adults, this is an achievable goal. It's about an hour of walking a day, which can easily be broken up into 2 or 3 shorter walks. But here's the thing. It's not just about the number of steps. The way you walk matters just as much. A slow, casual stroll is great for keeping your body moving, but if you want to build strength, protect your joints, and keep your heart healthy, you need to walk with purpose. That means focusing on your posture, keeping a steady pace, and using your arms to help propel you forward. Even small increases in walking speed can make a big difference in your overall health. And if you're worried about balance or joint pain, don't let that stop you. Walking can actually strengthen your knees and hips, as long as you're doing it right. One simple trick? Walk on softer surfaces like grass or a track instead of pavement. And if you need a little extra support, using walking poles can help take pressure off your knees while improving your posture. But what if you're struggling to get in enough steps every day? Maybe you have days where you don't feel like walking, or you get too busy and forget. That's completely normal. The good news is, there are simple ways to build more steps into your daily routine without even thinking about it. One of the easiest tricks? Make walking part of something you already do. Instead of parking right by the entrance at the store, park a little farther away. If you enjoy talking on the phone, walk around the house while you chat. If you watch TV in the evening, try walking in place during commercial breaks. These small habits add up quickly, and before you know it, you're naturally getting in more steps without even changing your schedule. Another great way to stay consistent? Find a walking buddy. Whether it's a friend, a spouse, or even a pet, having someone to walk with makes it feel less like exercise and more like a daily routine you actually enjoy. And if you don't have a walking partner? No problem. Listening to music, audiobooks, or even your favorite podcast can make walking something you look forward to every day. The most important thing to remember is this: any movement is better than none. Even if you can't hit 7,000 or 8,000 steps every day, don't let that discourage you. If you're currently walking 3,000 steps a day, try adding just 500 more. Small changes lead to big results over time. Now that we've talked about how many steps you need and how to make walking a habit, let's take it a step further. Because here's the thing, not all walking is created equal. There are certain walking mistakes people over 60 make that can actually hurt their joints, slow them down, or even lead to injuries. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. Now that we've talked about how many steps you should aim for and how to make walking a habit, let's take things a step further. Because here's something most people don't realize. Not all walking is created equal. In fact, the way you walk can either help your body stay strong and energized or actually cause unnecessary strain on your joints, muscles, and even your heart. Have you ever gone for a walk and noticed that your knees or lower back felt sore afterward? Or maybe you feel exhausted after just a few minutes, even though walking is supposed to boost your energy? That's because many people, especially as they get older, develop certain walking habits that work against their bodies instead of for them. One of the biggest mistakes: shuffling or walking with poor posture. You've probably seen this before. People walking slowly, barely lifting their feet, with their shoulders slumped forward. This kind of walking not only increases your risk of tripping and falling, but it also puts extra stress on your knees and back. The fix? Focus on walking tall. Imagine there's a string pulling you up from the top of your head. Keep your chest open, your shoulders relaxed, and your eyes looking forward instead of down at the ground. And most importantly, lift your feet fully with each step. Another common mistake: not using your arms. It might seem like your legs are doing all the work when you walk, but your arms play a big role, too. When you swing your arms naturally while walking, it actually helps you keep your balance and take stronger, more controlled steps. This also makes walking easier on your joints and even burns more calories. So next time you head out for a walk, make sure your arms are moving. It should feel natural, not stiff or forced. Now, let's talk about something that a lot of people overlook: walking speed. Many seniors assume that just getting in their steps is enough, but the pace at which you walk can make a huge difference in your health. Research shows that people who walk at a moderate or brisk pace, instead of just a slow stroll, have a lower risk of heart disease, better balance, and even improved brain function. So how fast should you be walking? A good rule of thumb is that you should be able to carry on a conversation while walking, but your breathing should be slightly heavier than usual. If you can sing a song without feeling short of breath, you might want to pick up the pace a little. On the flip side, if you're gasping for air, slow down just a bit. The goal is to challenge yourself, but not overdo it. And speaking of overdoing it, let's talk about something you might not expect: walking too much. Yes, you heard that right. While walking is one of the best things you can do for your body, there's a point where more isn't necessarily better. Some seniors push themselves to hit 10,000 steps or more a day, thinking it's the gold standard for good health. But for many older adults, walking too much can actually lead to fatigue, joint pain, and even increased inflammation in the body. That's why it's important to listen to your body. If you find yourself feeling more tired than usual, or if your joints feel sore after walking, you might be doing more than your body needs. Instead of focusing on a high step count, prioritize quality over quantity. A well-paced, purposeful 7,000 step walk is far better than 12,000 steps of mindless, exhausting movement. Now, if you want to get even more benefits from walking, there's one more thing you can do: incorporate a little bit of strength and balance work into your routine. Many people think of walking as just a leg workout, but the truth is, your core muscles, your abdomen and lower back, play a huge role in keeping you stable and strong. A simple trick: every few minutes, pause and do a few balance exercises. Try standing on one foot for a few seconds or doing some gentle calf raises. These small movements help improve your stability and prevent falls, one of the biggest risks as we get older. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, I know how many steps I need. I know how to walk correctly. But what about days when I just don't feel like walking at all? That's exactly what we're going to talk about next. We all have those days. You wake up feeling stiff, maybe a little tired, and the last thing you want to do is go for a walk. It's easy to say, I'll just do it tomorrow. But then tomorrow turns into the next day, and before you know it, an entire week has gone by without much movement. Here's the thing: motivation doesn't come first. Action does. Most of the time, if you just start moving, even for a few minutes, you'll find that you actually feel better. So, what can you do on days when walking feels like a chore? One trick is to change your mindset from I have to I get to. Instead of thinking, I have to go for a walk, remind yourself, I get to move my body. I get to breathe fresh air. I get to do something that keeps me strong. That small shift in thinking makes a huge difference. Another easy fix: make walking feel less like exercise and more like fun. Take a scenic route instead of just walking around your neighborhood. Visit a park, walk by the water, or even go window shopping at an outdoor mall. If you're walking indoors, put on your favorite music or listen to an audiobook. The more enjoyable you make it, the more likely you are to stick with it. And let's talk about weather, because that's another excuse that tends to pop up. It's too hot, too cold, too rainy. But guess what? There's always a way to keep moving. On hot days, walk early in the morning or later in the evening when it's cooler. In cold weather, bundle up and wear layers. Once you start walking, your body will warm up quickly. And if it's raining? Find an indoor space like a mall, a community center, or even just walk laps inside your home. The key is consistency, not perfection. Now, let's wrap everything up with one final, important point. Walking is about more than just staying physically strong. It's also one of the best things you can do for your mind. Studies show that regular walking helps reduce stress, improve mood, and even fight off depression. It boosts circulation to the brain, which keeps your memory sharp and lowers your risk of dementia. Some researchers even say that walking is like meditation in motion, because it helps clear your mind and reduce anxiety. So if you've been feeling a little down, overwhelmed, or just stuck in a rut, go for a walk. Even a short one. Get outside, breathe in the fresh air, and move your body. You'll be amazed at how much better you feel, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, too. And remember, it's never too late to start. Whether you've been walking regularly for years or you're just getting started, every step you take is a step toward better health. Even if you can only do a little bit today, that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving, keep improving, and most importantly, keep enjoying life. If you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments. How many steps do you usually take in a day? I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips on staying strong, healthy, and independent at any age. Here's to living your best life, one step at a time. See you in the next video.